Hi, we're going to do upper body strengthening today. We're going to start with stretching the arms and shoulders so that the neck can be open as we build strength. We want to build long, strong, lean muscles instead of bulk. And we want the body to lengthen as we strengthen. So we want the right amount of stretch built with the right amount of strengthening. So we build muscles that are truly healthy. The contractile force, that means the distance a muscle has to contract from its natural length to its shortened length, is what gives you force. If the muscle is already tight and short and then there's not much room to shorten it, that means there's very little strength in the muscle. We can improve that strength not just by tightening the muscle with exercise, but by lengthening muscle. So there's more room for the muscle to contract and therefore gives it more force. So we're going to start in the seated position with our breath work today. Place one hand on the belly or just bring your attention here. We're going to start with a deep belly breath. Allowing this belly area to expand outward as we breathe in. And taking several breaths, feeling yourself grounding into your sits bones or into your cushion or block, whatever you're sitting on. And letting this breath build organically. So from the ground upward, the belly expands outward and then it rises up through the rib cage. So each breath is like you're climbing up one more rung of the ribs. And then at the end of the breath, you're squeezing out the air so the muscles are contracting in and down to press out all the air. Let's watch that breath rise up and down the body. Feeling it lift the torso as we breathe in. Expanding the rib cage and trying to get some movement in the ribs. That space between the ribs becomes like a cage when we don't breathe deeply. And as it starts to soften and open, we get more freedom in the whole body, particularly the upper body. Now the long three-part breath is taking over, filling the belly, then the lower lobes of with the lower lobes of the lungs, then the middle, and then the upper. You can see the wave of breath moving through my body. Make it similar in yours. Then we're going to pick up the pace of the breath for about a minute's time. This is called the bellows breath, and then we'll hold the breath out. You're going to make sure the breath is still long and deep. If the pace is too quick for you, you can slow it down. We want 1 full minute of deep breath. And we want it to culminate with quick, full breaths. Last few breaths as quickly as you can. And exhale all the breath out. You can close the eyes and feel inside, watching the rhythm of the heart. Any pulsing, warming, tingling sensations inside. Also notice how the mind and the body feel. There's often a quiet, calm stillness following this breath practice. Whenever you need to breathe, take a little sip of air in and pause again, trying to remain in stillness without movement of breath until you again need to inhale or exhale. Whenever you do need that sip of breath in or out, take it And pause again. Trying to find that peaceful place inside yourself and just linger there, savoring that stillness, that comfort, that bliss. And then return to the natural breath. Let's take that deep, full breath into some movement. So circling the arms back like you're swimming or backstroking. Imagine yourself in your favorite body of water, swimming with the sunshine coming down, the warmth of summer coming near. And the next time the arms come up, pause there, reach them tall, then stretch through one side and then the other, getting the side body to lengthen and stretch. And then take the hands behind your head. We're going to curl the spine from here. So drop the chin, drop the elbows, and then curl into a little ball. Exhale the air and sit back up. Press the elbows back, look towards the sky. Exhale, curl. And 3 more times. Inhale, open. Almost like a flower petal opening to the sun. If you're feeling like I am, the sun feels amazing right now. And when you feel it, you just want to open your body and absorb every little bit of that sunshine. And last breath, pause here. Take one hand to the floor, other hand stays where it is. Arch over the side, lifting through the elbow, trying to grow tall. Sitting on your sits bones or cross-legged is fine. Keep sinking down and stretching the side body until you feel like you've come to your edge. Then straighten the arm out, reaching it as far as you can, and inhale back to center. Opposite hand comes up to the head, arch over to the side, support yourself with your other arm on the floor, and settle in. Feel that stretch up the side of the body, maybe all the way through the armpit, up the elbow. You might go deep through the neck. When you found your edge, then lengthen your arm out. Take a deep breath in, come back to center. Hands come around behind the back, interlace the fingers and circle a few times. Try and get as much movement in the upper body as you can so the chest presses out when the hands press back. Pull the shoulders forward into a circle. Good. Take the arms out to the side. Spread the fingers wide, palms press back behind you. Good. Pulsing the arms back. We're going to do a little breathing practice here. And we're going to rest the hands on the back of the head. And we're going to do a little strong breath in and out. So like when we were curling, press the breath out, inhaling. Using a full breath in and out, pumping the belly, pumping the ribs. Feeling heat rising in the body. And last one, exhale the air out. Take a long deep breath in, reach the arms up. Exhale them down by your side, push all the air out. Hold the breath out and sit back up. Remain in that stillness until you need to take a breath in. And when you do, inhale the breath all the way up, locking your attention at the top of the head. You can even turn your eyes inward and gaze up internally at this area. Hold the breath, but drop the chin. Pull up the pelvic floor like a Kegel exercise, but keep the belly, the center soft. Remain here holding the breath in until you can't hold it anymore. And when you're ready, relax the jaw, the face, the shoulders, and just sigh the breath out. Coming up onto the knees. Good. And from this position, we're going to do a little bit of side to side. So spread the knees just hip width apart. We're going to reach up with one hand, press the other hand into the hip and arch over to the side, back to center and switch. A quicker breath here. So inhale is the switch, exhale is over to the side. And now we're going to come down into our table position. Good, we're going to rock forward and back, so come to a straight spine here. Arms straight, shoulders right over the hands. And look skyward. And then exhale back to child. Heels can stay right under the hips. And inhale, come forward to table. Exhale, forward to this gentle up dog position. Inhale through table and exhale back to your child pose. Every time you need a breath, come through center and then come forward or back. 2 more times. Each time you come forward, see if you can get a little more movement in the spine. Hugging your belly in as you come forward to support the low back and lengthen. Good. And now we're going to come into our plank position here. It's a mini plank. So it's a half plank. The knees are on the ground, but you want from the knee to the shoulder to be in one straight line. Tuck the tailbone in, squeeze the inner thighs as if you're hugging a ball between them. And now we're going to do some mini push-ups. Elbows are going to squeeze straight in towards the side of the body. They're squeezing and touching the rib cage on the side here. Good. I'm going to try and do 5 of those. Good. And then we're going to sit back into a puppy stretch. So the arms are going to extend a little farther forward. Hips are going to stay stacked right above the knees. And we're going to try and reach forehead to the floor. Take a few breaths here and relax. Back up through your table position. Walk the hands back. Good. And this time we're going to bring one leg straight behind us. Cross it over the body and set it down on the floor. And then look around to the other side. Get a stretch through the side body. Good. Take the leg back behind you. Pulse it up a few times. And then pull it forward to the belly and lengthen it back behind you. So we're just warming up the lower spine and really the whole body here. Good. And holding that foot back behind you for a moment. Go ahead and press it down into the floor and push back with the strength of your upper body so you get a nice calf stretch. If you need to, you can even lift the other knee off the floor so you get a deeper stretch. Knee back to the floor. Pause and come back to your puppy stretch. From your puppy stretch, come back up. We'll do the other side. So extend that leg back behind you. Doing the left leg now. Cross it over to the right. Toes touch down. Look around. We're getting that side stretch in the spine. Take the leg straight back behind you. Pulse it up a few times. Good, and extend it back behind you. Calf stretch, push back with your upper body. Good, strong upper body, pushes back, belly hugs in, push back. You can even lift the other knee if you need to get a deeper stretch. Good. And then relax. One more time, we're gonna come hands one step forward in front of table, bring the torso forward, and we're gonna come down into our push-ups here. Elbows hugging the side. We'll do another version against the wall in a little bit. This one's called a tricep push-up. So it strengthens the back of the arm when we hug in towards the body. And one more if you can, that's 5. Good, sit back into a child now. Forehead stacked on hands or on a block. Let the head relax down. Full breaths in and out. Feel the breath filling the back of the body around the kidney area. Slowly lift up into a seated position. we're going to come to either sit on the floor or on a cushion or some kind of bolster. And from this position, we're going to sit here with legs spread wide, and hands are going to come behind us, fingers pointing away. We're going to drop knees side to side, getting a little twist through the body, and then we're going to do some upper body strengtheners in this reverse position. Good. So knees come to center. Hands walk a little closer to each other. Heels are going to be a few inches, maybe 6 inches away from your buttocks. And we're going to lift the center of the body up, coming to that flat plane with your torso and thighs a few times. So exhale and lift. Inhale, come down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, come down. Good. So next time we lift, we're going to hold here. Squeeze the buttocks up. Belly comes in. Feel the upper body working. If you want a little more workout, you can try straightening one leg out. If that feels like an intense workout, you can try the other leg one at a time. Or if you feel like you need a challenge today, you can straighten both legs up and keep lifting the hips, front of the shoulders open, pressing up. Good. Let the hips come back down to the floor. Shake your hands out. And you're going to turn your hands this way now. Instead of fingertips away, they're going to be pointing towards you. Good. And we're going to lift the hips again. And now keep the hips lifted, and we're going to bend the elbows back behind us. So we're trying to keep the upper body, the torso, lifted, while the upper body does its little presses. Good. Strengthening both sides of the arm here. Good, and now we're going to sit the hips down onto your cushion or onto the floor. And you're going to walk your hands a little bit closer. So I'm going to move my cushion away so you can see this. I'm going to put my hands on the floor, and I might even touch my hands together behind me. Good, and then I'm going to bring my feet up in front of me and rock side to side. As I do, my tush might scoot forward away from the hands, and that's going to give a little more stretch to the front of the shoulder. And we're just going to keep dropping side to side as the tush scoots away from the arms until we come to a place of deep stretch where we can just pause, lift the heart center, and breathe. And then we're going to hold here and try and bend one elbow. And then bend the other elbow. And then try and bend both elbows. Lift the hips up. And again, pulse a few times, bending the elbows and straightening. Good. Hold the hips high. Come down. Good. Cross the legs, and let's just fold over the legs. You can either have one foot in front of the other, one foot stacked on the other, or you can put soles of the feet together. Either one is fine. In this position, we'll just hinge forward, reaching out with a long torso, trying to grow tall through the spine. Take a deep breath and then melt yourself down towards hands, cushion, floor. We're going to slowly come back up, and we're going to go to the wall now. So I'm going to bring you with me. Just changing the angle here of the computer. I'm going to come to the wall. And the wall is going to be my support for some more push-ups. This time we're going to spread our arms wide apart. So they're going to be about twice as wide as our body. Elbows are going to be all the way out to the side. Same height as the shoulders almost. Fingers spread wide. From here, we're going to step back one big step from the wall so we can lean into it. And we're going to lean in and bring the elbows wide out to the side. This is like a very typical military push-up, elbows wide. So now we're working different muscle groups here. You can try these on the floor once you've gained some strength, but make sure that your torso is strong enough that you can keep your abdominal muscles contracted and your body in a straight line before you do this on the floor. Good. Pause and walk the hands up the wall towards each other, and then walk the hips back a little bit. You can even step back a few steps so that you get a full body stretch, arms stretching above and back behind you. Take a few breaths here and try and relax the shoulder joint that we've been strengthening. And then slowly lift up. We're going to walk the hands down a little farther and do a little downward dog position here. Good, so come to a flat back where the torso is parallel to the floor. And stretch back through the arms. Feel those shoulders opening, belly hugged in, knees slightly bent, and legs strong supporting you. And walk the hands back up the wall and walk the feet towards the wall. Good. And we're going to come back to the floor. We're going to try and build up to a side plank. So we're going to come down into a full plank first. And then if it feels safe, we're going to turn out to the side. This may be something that you're going to build towards. You may not be able to do it at first, and that's just fine. We'll do the incremental steps building towards it. And those in itself are strengthening, so you will build strength even if you haven't done the full posture. I'm going to tip this down a little bit. We're going to go through the basics of full plank. So fingers spread wide, arms, shoulders are right over the hands, and then extend both legs back. In this position, squeeze the inner thighs strongly towards each other and tuck the tailbone just a little bit. Try to keep the chest and shoulders open. Hold here, and you might start to feel the torso shake a little. Knees come down to the floor. Sit back onto your heels. Go ahead and sit up and let's swim the arms backward for a little stretch. We're going to come back forward, but this time with the forearms on the floor. And so here we're going to come forward in that same position, but our elbows are going to drop down on the floor, insides of the arms parallel. Extend the legs back behind you, and here we're going to hold that same position. In this position, there's not as much strain on the upper body, but the torso has to work. So we're really strengthening and building the muscles that we need for our full plank here. You can hold here until you feel shaking in the core, and then knees to the floor. Sit back up. We're going to come into a lunge as a little break here. Coming forward into the lunge. Rock back and forth a few times, and then fold forward, or bring your hands to the inside of this leg, and then try and straighten the spine here. Rock a little forward and back. Good, and if you want, you can even try to bend the elbows down a little bit more, so you're coming inside of that knee, squeezing the knee in towards the shoulder. Good. Straighten the legs, arms back up. Lift up onto the lunge, come back behind you. Other side, leg comes forward, settle in and relax with a few stretches forward and back. Good, last one. And settle the arms in towards the floor now, but reach on the inside of your knee and rock a little forward and back. Kind of lengthen the spine. If you can't reach the floor, you can always have a block in front of you. And then next time you pause in your lunge, see if the torso can sink down a little bit, bending the elbows, coming towards the floor, opening the hip. Good. Coming back up through center, take the hands around behind the back, interlace the fingers, and pull the shoulders back and down. And now we're going to go back into our full plank one more time, and try and turn out to the side. So hands come forward. Build your plank, first with knees down, then with legs straight. Once you get legs straight, turn to the side, and instead of stacking your feet, put one in front of the other for balance, and try and bring your arm right to your side. This means the whole lower body on the left side is strengthening here. Torso is engaged, holding up. If you feel like you can even lift the top arm straight up towards the ceiling. So this is a good strengthener here, but if you want to try and balance, you can stack one foot on top of the other and try side plank here. Hand down to the floor, knees to the floor. Take a moment to rest. Either sit the hips into child or sit upright and maybe give the arms a little bit of a shake. We're going to do the other side, same thing. Remember to try and keep your breath steady and flowing through all of this. The idea is not that we're doing any special postures, but we're bringing the breath through the body, through each posture, so that it's opening new areas of the body. The breath is really the magic of the practice. Without it, we don't do any opening, we only do strengthening and tightening. So hands to the floor, legs come back into your plank position. So pressing back through the toes, inner thighs squeeze in, roll out to the side, one foot in front of the other. Bring your arm just to your side and try and balance here. If that feels steady and strong, you can try and stack the feet. And if that feels steady and strong, you can try and raise the arm into a T position here. Good. Take a break as needed. Come back to your plank position. Knees to the floor. And again, sit back into child or sit upright and shake your arms up. Good. Hands behind your back one more time. The fingers interlace. Try and press the palms together if you haven't before in this position. And we're going to go into Yoga Mudra. In Yoga Mudra, the seated version, we're going to be bringing the forehead to the floor and trying to lift the arms and press them up overhead. I'll turn to the side so you can see. So keep the arms pressing back and down as you hinge forward. And then try and bring your forehead to the floor and lift the hips up. The very crown of the head can touch, but try and keep it gentle. Rock the arms a little side to side, pressing your palms against each other. And then try and press the arms even overhead. If there's too much pressure on the neck, you can just sit the hips back a little further and relieve it. It's like we're emptying the contents of the mind, of the head, into the earth, emptying out what we don't need, and then filling up with what we do. We're going to do a prep for shoulder stand as an upper body strengthener. So you want to make a triangle with your arms, palms are together. You're going to tuck that little pinky finger inside so there's a flat surface for you to rest on. And this surface here of the forearm is going to be pressing against the floor. From that position, we're going to come into a downward dog, lifting the hips higher. From there, we're going to extend one leg up and then practice with the other leg coming up. And then we're going to walk the toes on both on the floor slowly towards to strengthen the core. So if this part is too challenging for you at the beginning, you can skip this and add it in as you build strength. So forearms come down onto the floor in this position, this little triangle. The head relaxes down, but there's really no pressure on it. It's just dangling downwards. From here, lift the hips high. You can press one heel towards the floor and then the other. You can rock the head side to side to make sure there's no tension there. And if this feels okay, then you can lift one leg either towards the back wall behind you or try and lift it up overhead. The higher you lift, the more work and stretch in the shoulders. You can try the other leg, lifting it straight behind you or up overhead. And then you can also try walking the toes in as close as you can to your torso, and that will cause you to contract your abdomen, pull the muscles in and up. Feel that strength working through the core and the upper body. Knees come down to the floor. We're going to come down onto the floor. So settle down onto your belly. Very slowly melting down. Turn your head to one side and make a pillow. Take some relaxing breaths here. Let your heels drop out to the side. Big toes are touching. Take a moment to visit crocodile, extending the arms overhead, palms pressed together as they extend, and forehead touches the floor. Let go of everything else but the press of the palms and the big toes touching. Everything in between melts. Feel your breath flowing. Feel your body relaxing onto the floor. Feel how that posture turns your attention inward, away from the external world, into your own internal universe. Slide one elbow back under and then the other. And then we're going to pull the upper body forward, pulling the shoulders back isometrically. And then we're going to lengthen the arms out and try and walk our torso a little bit longer, stretching and reaching through the sides, all the way till we come back down into our alligator crocodile posture. The crocodile is a master at conserving energy, waiting till that perfect moment to expend it when it's most important. Roll over onto the back. We're going to come into a fish posture. All these wonderful water creatures today. You're going to bring your hands down by your side, and if you can, you're going to try and grab hold of your tush and roll your arm underneath your body, and then do the same on the other side. Reach your hand under the body. Go ahead and grab onto a cheek and roll your arm on top of it. So we're laying down on top of the palms. Legs can stay bent or they can extend out, whatever feels comfortable. You're going to press into the elbows and lift your torso up, and then arch your head back towards the floor. Just the very crown of the head should touch gently without too much weight. Keep squeezing the elbows towards each other and pressing the heart center higher. If your legs are extended, squeeze them gently towards each other and extend them, trying to lengthen. Then follow the breath in and out. And then lengthen back out, but stay lying on top of the arms. Compressing them with your weight. You might feel a pulsing sensation or a tingling sensation, but just like the compression of a massage, squeezing out tension. You're going to release the arms and feel a little tingling sensation as blood floods back into the arms. And from here, we're going to slowly roll around to one side and sit back up. We're going to try now to find a comfortable seated position in which we can rest. And we're going to bring the arms wide apart to the side and cross one over the other. We're going to do eagle against the wall here, but we want to do the arms first to prepare them. So squeezing the elbows in towards each other. So there's asymmetric pressure. This is actually a strengthening. We're trying to consolidate all our energy inward. We're squeezing the elbows in towards each other, the arms in towards each other. And let's lift and lower a few times. Stretching the shoulders and wrapping all the way back around to the scapula and back. Notice which elbows on top, and then open the arms, expand, grow tall like wings. Inhale up. Exhale, cross the other arm underneath. Elbows cross, forearms come towards each other. Grab the hands. Squeeze in. Squeeze the arms against each other. And then lift and lower with breath. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down one more time. Keep squeezing those forearms in. And then unwind the arms like great wings, inhaling up and exhaling down. We're going to do the same arms with the legs against the wall. When you become stronger and more balanced, you can do this without the wall. But at first, it's nice to have a place to balance and strengthen. So walk your heels back close to the wall, lean against the wall, and start to walk the feet just a little bit forward as you come down so you can find a nice position where you can bend the knees and almost rest against the wall. And then we're going to take the right leg and cross it over the other one. If you can, tuck the toes around behind the opposite calf. And now squeeze the legs in towards each other. Inner thighs are working strongly. Legs are pressing against one another. We're going to have the opposite arm on top as the leg. So our right leg is on top. Our left arm is going to be on top. Cross the arms, left on top. Fold the arms towards each other. Squeeze arms and legs in towards each other. You can hold here or sink down lower. Or you can try and fold forward. Here we're contracting arms and legs now towards each other, everything pulling in and down. Like an eagle, you can gaze down over the ground below you with sharp vision, consolidating your energy. And then slowly lift back up if you come forward or stay here a little longer. Swing the eagle arms out wide like wings. Straighten up and unwind. Let's take a little break and just twist side to side here. Good full body strengthener. And then we'll come back to the wall for the other side. So come back to the wall, lean into it. Go ahead and sit down. This leg, left leg is going to cross over the top. Picking it up, crossing it, and then tucking the foot under if you can. If you can't tuck it, just squeeze it into the other one. Now our left leg is on top, so right arm will be on top. Inhale the arms out, cross right over left, squeeze the forearms together, and now squeeze arms in and down, legs in towards each other. Stay here, sink down deeper, or fold forward into a little curl, pulling energy in towards the center. The opposite of our daily life where we expand energy and send it out from all our senses, our muscles, everything. So now we're pulling back in and restoring the balance. Lifting up, unwinding wings, unwinding legs. And let's give everything a shake this time. So arms and legs shaking out. Let's even give a little bounce, a little twist. Let's shake the arms all the way up overhead. After all that arm work, I'm going to just shake out the tension, twist a little bit. And then pause and hold. Tuck the tailbone under, knees slightly bent. Feel energy flowing from earth through the lower body, feeding the upper body, giving strength. Slowly bring the arms down, almost like tree limbs reaching out the energy to the tips to grow your beautiful green new leaves. And slowly come down to the floor, taking your time, like this is also a yoga posture, and making your way down to the floor with smooth and fluid movement. And here we're going to prop so that we can relax down on the floor in a comfortable position. It could be on a pillow, cushion, something under the knees. It could be on your setup with a bolster and blocks if that feels more restorative and comfortable. I'm going to end here with a round of Nadi Shodhana. So Nadi Shodhana, the alternate nostril breath. It is sometimes helpful to take a block and prop your elbow on it so that when you're doing your Nadi Shodhana or alternate nostril breath, that your elbow can rest on the block. This way we can block off the nostrils with one of two fingers, whichever ones you choose. Blocking off right and exhaling through left. Inhaling through left. Switching nostrils at the top of the breath and exhaling through right. Inhaling through right. Make these breaths as slow and long and deep as you can. At the top of the breath, switch nostrils. Exhale through left. Inhale through left. And in keeping with our practice of turning the attention inward, let's go inward, and at the bottom of the breath, when we exhale, let's try and pause and relax there. It might only be a few seconds. When you need to breathe in, take a long breath. And at the top of the breath, pause again and hold the breath in until you need to release. At that point, switch nostrils and exhale. Exhale all the air out and hold for a few seconds. And then inhale a long, slow breath. So each time you inhale or exhale, you'll pause and just linger there, lengthening out the whole breath by making those little quiet pauses extend the length of the breath. Always switching nostrils after the inhale. And after the next time that you exhale through the left nostril, go ahead and let go of the breath. Bring the arms down by your side and just relax here. Take a few minutes to stay here and just follow the breath, watching it move in and out. Taking this time as a rest, a relaxation, a rejuvenation. Allow your body to digest the experience and integrate the new changes you've made in your body. Make this part just as important as the rest of practice. So if your mind chimes in about something to do later, just say thank you, but no thank you, and come back to the breath, back to the body, back to this moment. And then enjoy your relaxation. Enjoy your newfound upper body strength. And let's keep building. Namaste.